Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody, it's Cindy here, and welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about your primary relationship with another person, those partnerships in your lives, whether you're married or you're in a serious relationship, you're cohabitating with someone or whatever, those romantic based relationships you're having out there, and how to tell the difference between whether you are just experiencing conflict at some level or if this is technically an abusive relationship. I get asked that a lot, and I have over the decades of my experience as a counselor and a coach. And sometimes it's really difficult to know, what you're really dealing with in a relationship and what it means for you in terms of your happiness or your emotional or physical safety, even your sexual safety sometimes. And I have a resource here that spells it out in really practical language that I want to share with you today. But before I go through that list, if you're questioning in your mind, am I being abused in this relationship? Is this a healthy relationship or is this toxic? If you're already asking yourself that question, or you find yourself asking yourself that question a lot, that is a red flag to me as a counselor and a coach. Would make me want to peel back some layers on the thoughts that you're having and the experiences that you're having, that you're going over in your mind, and really questioning if this is a healthy partnership for you. So just to reiterate, love is supposed to feel really good. Now, we can love people deeply. I love my husband deeply, and it doesn't mean I'm healthy every minute in that partnership, because I'm not. Sometimes I, say things I don't mean, or I lose my patience, or, we have different viewpoints about how to handle something or approach something. And so, but our relationship is not abusive. It is not abusive. So just remember that there is a human factor for all of us in relationships, whether they're healthy or they're not. But there is a line that I wouldn't want you to let any partner cross with you on any kind of regular basis, where you could be in danger, whether it's physical danger, sexual danger, or psychological danger. Because how someone shows up consistently in a relationship can be very, very challenging if it's in it more along the abusive line. So let's define some of those things. Let's spell them out. What I'm sharing with you today is one of my all-time favorite books about love and partnerships and love of self and everything is this book, 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. And shout out to my girlfriend Debbie, who gave it to me many months ago, and I've been studying it and just really getting a lot out of it. The subtitle is How to Find It, Keep It, and Let It Go. And so in one of the sections, Jay has it's literally called How to Know Whether You're Experiencing Conflict or Abuse. Okay, again, this is in your primary relationship. All right. So let's say the topic is money. He shares several topics here, and I'll just go through them quickly and then so he first he points out the topic of money. So how your partner behaves in conflict, okay, in conflict, normal human conflict, might be argues with you about your spending habits. Okay, that might be a natural conflict. If your partner is abusive, they tell you how to spend your money. Okay, so you hear the difference there? Sharing, arguing with about how to spending habits versus telling you what to do is a difference there. Okay, the topic of family. Maybe they criticize or complain about a family member. Okay, that might be a conflict, right? An abusive approach would be ridiculing, humiliating, or alienating your family members. Okay, you hear the difference? Now, what about subjects of the kids? Argues over what might be best for the kids. Very common between partners who are also parenting together. An abusive approach would be threatening you or the kids or using you or the kids as a threat. These things are very different, right? Okay, quality time. The topic of quality time complains that you don't spend enough quality time together. Okay, so they're sharing some feedback, a complaint around that. An abusive approach would be feels ownership over your time and controls whether you spend time with anyone else. I hear this a lot in controlling abusive partners where they work to kind of uh, decrease your social circles, decrease your time with other people, and isolate you more and more. That is a very tall tell sign that someone is being abusive to you. And again, that's very different than someone saying, hey, I miss you. I want to spend more time with you. That's a different scenario. Okay. Chores. A healthy partner might say they don't think you're doing enough to help. You're not doing enough of your part. An abusive partner might say, tell you what to do. You should be doing this, you do that, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. Okay, that's a very controlling behavior. You are equals. You're equals in a partnership, an adult partnership. Okay, so no one should be telling anybody what to do. All right, you can negotiate, you can work out a chore schedule, a plan, but not be in, the director bossing people around. Jealousy. A healthy partner may feel upset about where your attention is going, might feel in competition with something else and share that with you. An abusive one might accuse you of lying without any cause. Okay, so to create some drama around their jealousy that isn't even valid based on your behavior. Okay, the topic of quote unquote the little things. So a healthy partner might experience small frustrations that grow over time. They might get upset about little things and start letting that build up over time and share those frustrations eventually. An abusive partner can be set off by anything with an out of proportion reaction. So if your partner blows like a volcano over something, over toothpaste, that's a red flag. There might be some anger management issues there. There might be some deep underlying psychological trouble there. There's really something important to look at there. In the topic of respect, a partner may use words to elevate their own importance. Okay, okay. They may use words to elevate their own importance. But if they're using words to diminish your importance, they're putting you down, they're name calling, putting you down, criticizing you, that's abusive. That's emotionally abusive and manipulative. Very concerning. Okay. And then the topic of sex. Your partner may complain about the frequency or style of your sex life. They may have, some complaints there or some feedback, need something to be different. That's okay, right? We can roll with that kind of conversation in a partnership, a serious partnership. But if they're pressuring you or forcing you to have sex or participate in sexual acts you are not comfortable with, not okay. That's abusive. That's sexual abuse. That's manipulation. That's physical force. Those are red flags. I don't care if you're married or not. I don't care if you're cohabitating. I don't care what the relationship or agreement is. You are not someone's toy that they can manipulate. So I hope this is helpful. I want you to, if you're sitting there going, oh, I'm not sure, if I'm being abused or not. I'm not sure if we're just, going through a rough patch. I'm not sure whether, this is healthy or unhealthy. Think about those things, those topics I shared from Jay Shetty's book, The 8 Rules of Love. There it is again, for those of you watching the podcast on YouTube. And start to, assess the health of your primary relationship. Because in general, you want your partnership to feel good, more times than not. Another relationship expert, I believe it was Gay Hendricks, but I might be wrong, said that for every negative moment, just a little negative moment in a relationship, you want to have at least 5 very positive experiences. So, what Ed and I were married, and sometimes, we get on each other's nerves, or we have a moment, or we need to take a time out because we've reacted to each other or whatever. I find those moments so devastating. I feel really bad in those times, and my heart breaks and so forth. And I think his does too, really, honestly. He'd tell you if he was here. But we have dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds and thousands of positive interactions and experiences and that is the norm in our relationship. That's how most days go, most weeks go, most months go, most years go. And so that's part of how I want you to kind of assess as well. Are you generally happy and satisfied most of the time, or in most subjects, most aspects of your relationship? And maybe this area over here you're struggling with. Maybe you're struggling sexually with each other, but everything else is going really pretty well. Or maybe you're struggling financially, but everything else lines up pretty nicely for you. And then again, how are you treating one another? Another way to look at this as more of a ending thought is, are you abusive, or are you healthy in how you're showing up? Are you human like me, and sometimes you lose your temper a little bit and you have a tone? I have a tone sometimes when I'm frustrated. Or I just, I emotionally react too strongly to some dumb thing that doesn't matter, or maybe it does matter, but not enough that I'd rather be able to manage it peacefully. And I get better and better at that, and continue to keep working on that. So look at your behavior, your own behavior too, how you're showing up in your partnership, and make sure that you are handling yourself in the most healthy manner. If you feel you're in an abusive relationship and you need to get out, then I would start to make plans in that direction. If you're somewhere in the middle, I would approach your partner and say, hey, I'd really love to see us work on these things. Could we work on this, and this together? Can we go to counseling? Can we go to a marriage enrichment experience? Can we, read a book together and work on our skills with each other and communicating with each other, whatever. Invite, excuse me, invite growth together if you really want the relationship to continue. If you have a lot of invested in it, excuse me. That is, as long as you're not in physical danger. If you're in physical danger, please make plans to get out as soon as possible. There are community services in most communities. You can, go to somebody you trust that can help you make an escape plan. Please get some mental health support through that process. But if you're just on the fence and struggling in a relationship and trying to figure it out, can we make it healthier, or is this an abusive relationship, or is this just so toxic that we cannot do some weighing on that, to consider these things to help you define what's going on, and see, really listen to yourself, to your gut, what you feel is best for you to do at this point. Get help if you feel like that's going to be helpful, or have a real conversation with your partner or spouse about your concerns, and how they respond to that will also tell you a lot about whether they are wanting to join you in a healthy partnership and grow together, or whether they're unavailable for that kind of thing, or abusive and controlling. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. Remember, love is meant to be a joy-filled, wonderful experience with, of course, the human factors that come into play. So we all have our off days, and that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about chronic patterns of behavior and relationship dynamics that are troubling, very troubling. So I wish you love. I wish you hope. I wish you a wonderful day. And if you'd like to chat with me about your relationship, about your life, no obligation, no problem. Just go to timewithcindy.com. That's where my calendar is. And pick a time for us to chat, and we can tease it out together a little bit. So I'd love to talk to you and know what's happening. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.